Hey DMs, come sit down with me. The play along pack for Arcana Unleashed is here, and obviously magic is the focus. These are available with the pre-order to drip feed excitement for the products. So these are inspired by the Dungeon Master's actual play series, which I've enjoyed. Our encounter in the free to everyone offering on D&D Beyond contains living spells, which we last saw in Eberron Rising from the Last War, but now we get another set. Although Burning Hands has come across from this Eberron book, but that was 5e, not 5.5. Basically, living spells became a thing in areas of large-scale magical battles or experiments gone wrong. So I think it's fair to say that we can use them in our final boss scenarios. Ultimately, rituals, those big rituals at the end of games. Now in this instance, it's at the hands of a master of magic, known as an Evoker Archmage, who are so clever that they sculpt magic around themselves. Mechanically, that's 3 reactions of like shield or counterspell. Oh, and if they aren't fireballing you twice a turn on a 5 or 6 recharge, then they're doing 4 arcane bursts for an average of 27 force damage per burst. Now luckily the Evoker Archmage is offering his coffee break for this encounter, so that your players will probably be fine. Why are your players in this warehouse in the first place? Well, we get 8 new magical factions. This one is the 9th Quill, a secretive faction of thieves and saboteurs who try to keep the balance amongst other magical factions so no one faction is run away the strongest. So basically we're snooping in a warehouse. That's easy to drop in next session. Like the heists in Keys from the Golden Vault DM guide done, the task is to take a magical item from the warehouse. A new type of magical item that scales with the players as they level up. This particular one is called the Idol of Good Fortune, and it's a dented and scraped bronze elephant sat on its haunches. The magic item scales as the PCs change tiers of play. You know the tiers of play in the DMG. 1 to 4, 5 to 10, 11 to 16, 17 to 20. But you DM decide when you want this magic item's benefits to level up, as a story beat itself, simply on a level up, or because the player brought you cake. Whenever. This is a level 5 scenario, so they can cast augury one day with this elephant. The idol speaks an omen aloud, which is supposed to be about whatever course of action happens in the next 30 minutes. And when you decide to level it up, it then buffs their AC by 1. And then they can just turn objects into coins. So the next time they hold it, does it turn them into coins? No, don't do that. And at the next ultimate tier of play, it casts Globe of Invulnerability, stopping effects of level 5 spells or lower from affecting them. Well DMs, that's not fun, is it? Magic items that cast magic as well, and living spells which also cast spells. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that, did I? Searching these crates, 3 of them contain living spells. We get a roll table if you need assistance with that. They all have AC 15, they all travel 25 feet flying and hovering. They all have 30 hit points, whereas the 5e edition, they all had 15 hit points. And yes, they all have spell mimicry. Look at Living Flaming Sphere. It creates a flaming sphere. Living Acid Arrow fires acid arrows at you. Look, I don't know if it's too much. We've entered a time of circle magic, where naughty magic folk all work together to do massive damage. I guess we've entered a high magic system now. Poor fighters. So these crates that we're opening also contain a piece of adventuring gear or a trinket. I'd use trinkets. D100 table, things that can inspire roleplay or adventure hooks, just fun things. And I didn't mention, as a member of the 9th Quill, they get the Arcane Infiltrator feat. You can cast Friends. You can dodge as a bonus action a few times. Now I've got a question for you. What has 2 thumbs and is doing a Deadfall DM guide that you're going to want to watch? This guy.